deep stretch. It's Moni Maker now in front, edging clear. Moni Maker and Wally Hennessy, they win the Hambletonian Oaks in 1:55 and 3.
But they're all chasing the Queen of Trotting. Moni Maker in her final Meadowlands appearance is striding home, and Moni Maker will do it. It's Moni Maker in the Nat Ray.
En alliant donc cette victoire avec le panache également, puisqu'elle ne sera plus rejointe malgré.
For 5 years, competing in 105 races at 28 tracks and 7 countries, Moni Maker made winning a habit. 67 times, at any distance, against any contender, male or female. Moni Maker won every classic trotting race everywhere in the world, some of them more than once. Lifetime earnings of $5.5 million made her the richest standardbred ever and the richest female racehorse of any breed anywhere in the world. With retirement looming in the fall of 2000, it seemed that there were few goals left for Moni Maker to aspire to. The words of turf historian John Hervey, describing the career of another great trotter, Greyhound, could also apply to Moni Maker. Quote, "There was nothing in sight to compare to him, either in contest or against the watch, and his owner felt he had richly earned a life of ease for the rest of his days. In making his farewell vow, it was decided that once again something new and novel would be attempted." That something new and novel was an attempt to break the world record for trotting under saddle. The record had been on the books since 1866, when the great trotter Dexter carried a rider in 2:18. The holder of the record when Greyhound attempted it was Holyrood Boris, who trotted a mile in 2:05 1/4 in 1936 with Miss Helen James riding. With Francis Dodge Johnson, later Van Lennep, astride, Greyhound enhanced his mystique by lowering it to 2:01 3/4 in 1940. Over the next 54 years, Greyhound's records fell one by one, but his trotting under saddle mark stood until 1994, when Preferential and Brooke Nichols lowered it to 1:58 2.
With 7/8 of the mile complete, appears to be about to grab the world mark. Brooke Nichols and Preferential trot to the wire, and they're going to be home in world record time. There it is, 58 2.
The mark seemed well within Moni Maker's capabilities, but after 6 years of pulling a sulky, how would she take to a saddle? And who would ride her? Since the 1930s, the trotting under saddle record holders had women riders: Helen James, Francis Dodge Johnson, and Brooke Nichols. Moni Maker's owners wanted to continue that tradition and give their mare a rider with accomplishments of equal distinction. Hall of Fame jockey Julie Krone made a trip to Winners International Farm in Columbus, New Jersey on September 22nd to ride Moni Maker in a workout that would decide if the record attempt would be made. Moni Maker readily accepted a saddle and Krone like they'd been partners for years. In Julie Krone, Moni Maker would have a rider who was the winningest female jockey of all time, a pioneer who was the first of her gender in the Thoroughbred Hall of Fame. The consummate horsewoman, Krone was winning horse shows on a pony before she could read. And so the date was set, October 6th at the Red Mile, the same track where both Greyhound and Preferential had taken their marks. Moni Maker's trainer Jimmy Takter and driver Wally Hennessy would drive the prompters.
Can Moni Maker do it?
Oh yes, she can definitely do it. She's a superb athlete, and I've been around many horses in my whole life, jumpers, team penners, like horses that do a lot of different things, and I've learned to appreciate them as athletes, and she is just a magnificent animal. She has nicknames of like Mother, the Mothership, Speedster, and like all those things, and the record is well within her grasp, and it's just a matter of like being the best jockey ever and not doing anything, just sitting there, and that's basically what I have to do today.
I'm excited. Unfortunately, we don't have the greatest weather. It's strong wind on the backside and a little chillier than it was the previous days here, but I think she still have a very good chance to do it.
The day dawned gray, windy, and cloudy after a rainy night, less than ideal for a record. But this was closing day at the Red Mile, and Moni Maker was ready to go. There would be no second chances. Jimmy Takter put Moneymaker through warm-ups in her sulky, with the crowd watching every footfall. Jimmy Takter joined Julie Krone and Wally Hennessy in signing photos of the mare for racing fans. The line, like Moneymaker's list of accomplishments, seemed never-ending.